In this video, let's take a look at how to create a rendering inside of Lumion. So make sure that you have your camera set up the way that you want to, and you can set things up by using your right mouse button or using any of the other navigation tools. Also, let me just go back here. Also, if you click on this button here, it sets the eye level to 1.6 meters, which is the regular eye level. And just make sure that these lines are straight so that it looks like the way that you want to, and you can use your middle mouse button if you want to bring your camera a little bit lower, like that, so you can see the outside view as well. So you can do all that. Once you're set, what you need to do is just click on this camera icon which says photograph, and then you're taken into this view. And even in this view, you can change the way that the camera is set up, and I can even zoom in just a tad like that, so I can see one of my lighting fixtures. Maybe I need to see the other lighting fixture as well, like that. So you can set it up in a way, and you can change the focal length as well if you wanted to. There you go. I think that looks fine. So you can see some of the other areas as well. And then what we can do is we can set a custom style. So you can click on this, and you can select any of these styles. There are some really cool looking styles like the color sketch, watercolor, daytime, interior, realistic. I like to go with the realistic one because that seems to be the best option in most cases. It looks very real. And then you can disable some of these, like exposure. Let's see what happens when you disable it. Nothing much, but you can go to each of these and then change its settings as well, right? And real skies, you can sharpen your image just a bit. If you want to see a lot of these textures, you need to sharpen your image a little bit, but right off the bat it looks pretty good. And you can change the depth of field if you want to, but I'm going to change any of these. You can change the contrast. You see, it makes a world of difference especially when you use the contrast and the brightness to manipulate the image, so that you see all the edges and the lines and such that you want to show. Once you think that works for you, just click on this button here which says store camera. It's going to store that image. And once you have a bunch of these renderings, like, you can rotate it and maybe just pan it just to get inside, and then get another view like that maybe. And I think that's fine. There you go. And you can change these if you want to. You can change the brightness of it. You can change the shadow settings if you want to. So like that, you can change things and then just add your camera. And once you're done, click on this render photographs button, and then you can additionally add the depth maps, sky alpha maps and such, which you can use in order to create or modify these images in Photoshop. But for now, I don't need to do any of those. And what I want is just a regular rendering, so I can click on desktop. And for printing, there is a different size setting that they recommend. Poster, they have a different size recommendation, but for now I'm just going to click on desktop, and it's going to create my rendering. So I can just select create a new folder here, and I'm going to say renderings, and one. It's going to create my two renderings. So okay, I'm going to do that same thing here. I'm going to save this as a desktop and save that as well. So that way I have my two renderings completed. Now another thing that we could have done is also probably add silhouettes, people in here. We didn't add those, add people, and it's quite easy to do that. So let's go back and see how we can add people. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to build again to go back, click on build and go here. Let's add a person just to get a sense of scale. So we can add just a regular person who's standing. I'm gonna add someone, just a regular. Well, maybe this person is fine. Let's add this guy here. It's looking out of the window, contemplating the life choices he made by buying those shorts. So we have a person, and then we can go and click on photograph, the photo icon, and you see you get that person in the view as well. And I can go in and show camera here, and I can render that. So I can render it to the desktop, and that's gonna get rendered properly. And if it's too bright, you can change those settings as well. But I think this looks okay for my purpose. And I can open the folder, put it up. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. And it's gonna have this this watermark, but that's okay. It's just saying that this is a student version of Lumion, but and in the pro version you don't really see this, but that's okay. And you get those renderings like that. So that's how you create renderings. In the next video, let's take a look at how to create videos in Enscape. In Lumion.